Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Hi, Sandra Dee. How you doing?
Richard Bontrager, how are you? It's a good day. It's a very good day. It's a Monday. It's a good Monday. I hope it's a good Monday for everybody that's
It's a
actually
great
watching.
Monday, and we're launching off our new campaign for our new masterclass.
We're doing something crazy. This was like kind of just a passion thing that we finally just looked at each other like, this is stupid. Why don't we do what people have been asking us to do? So we decided to go ahead and do a masterclass so we can help 1,200, like directly help 1,200 professionals and entrepreneurs in the next 12 months to really reach the next level of their on-camera presence. And we're going to give a sample of the kind of stuff that we're going to cover here today in our masterclass. We've only a few minutes with you here today, but we're going to talk about one of the topics that most likely will come up. And in the masterclass, we're going to be doing hot seats, which you can apply for. And we can really dive deep with you. And then we're also going to have Q&A. We're going to have a lot of time. You get us and our, what did you say? 62 years of combined
62 years.
experience.
Yeah, I was doing the math of how much experience you have with
That's
all you've done, with
horrifying.
all I've done. 62 years.
I did start on camera when I was 11. That's true.
Yeah, I was
So
only behind the microphone at that time.
still media though. So that's why we are able to help people. So it's all good. So I love that we are calling our masterclass Ready, Set, Smile. And one of the things that I want to point out that kind of came up with us yesterday, right, Rich, and we were
Yeah.
talking, I looked at your planning before you went before, as we're planning the masterclass, as you're planning even this live, you have things that you do that are strategic behind the scenes. And since being persuasive on camera really is an energetic thing. It's like any sales process in a way, right? When you're persuading somebody to join you and invest in you and invest your time, there's an energetic exchange. And so I think it's really important to talk about the fact that if you come in as prepared as possible, you have all the ducks in a row, so to speak. And we're going to talk about what that is today, because this is really Rich's strong point, right? We're going to talk about how much you do behind the scenes to make things flow. Because when things are flowing and you can trust that strategy that you have in place, then energetically you can show up and be present.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Your success on camera is equaled to what you do off stage behind the scenes. And again, as an actress, you know that the
Yeah.
prep work
Yeah.
before you say action is so important. It's the very same thing with camera confidence, learning how to use the microphone, use the visual square or the studio that you're using. All that comes from when they say go, if you have a good system in place, you can do it much better.
Yeah, because you don't have
Because
to worry about that.
right. That's exactly what I was going to say. For those streaming along, put in the chat if you want, join us in the conversation. But how much is your nervousness on camera about, oops, what I forgot, what I didn't do? Do I have my landing page ready? Do I have this or that ready? Did I put that graphic in there? How much of the nervousness about being on camera is with all the behind the scenes stuff?
Oh, can I share a quick story here?
Yes.
So I am called by production companies and podcast hosts to come in and coach on set, like live, right? And I remember I was working, actually, there was an opportunity for me to do this virtually. So I was working with somebody who was going on camera. They were already nervous. They're a doctor. They were not like, nobody said when you go into med school or law school, hey, by the way, make sure you're really savvy on camera. That does not come up, right?
No.
So she's really, really smart, really good at what she does, very charming. The second the light went on, she just freaked out. So I'm there to talk people off the emotional ledge. Okay. So this is what I do. So I'm there. And what happens, Rich? This is right to our point today.
Yeah.
Sound problems. So she goes through a take. She like gets to the take, like imagine her white gripping the table in front of her. That like she's terrified, right? She
Yeah.
gets through the take, and the person behind the camera goes, "Oh, we didn't have any sound. She's got to do it again." Now what happens? Now she's second guessing, is everything working? I'm going off, and it just got worse and worse because the camera had issues, the sound wasn't working, the this, the that, 1,000 things. Nothing was set up properly on her side, like on the set itself. And so the more things went wrong, the worse emotionally she became. And my job got harder and harder because I'm just like, everything's fine. Oh, relax, take a deep breath, all that stuff. And honestly, it was the hardest uphill climb
Mhm.
for this poor woman who is brilliant to be able to get a 1-minute video done. It doesn't have to be like that.
Well, part of my
It's
coaching
work.
is you want to be here and nowhere else when you're on camera and mic.
Yes.
So everything
Yes.
else has got to go. So part of it is have a producer. You don't try to do all this by yourself. Have a
Yes.
showrunner, have someone help you get your guests. But with all of that, then you need to have spreadsheets, a database. You need to have something behind so you know we're onboarding here, we're interviewing here, we're editing here, we're doing all this. But once you're here and they say go, you don't have to think about that because the systems help you be
Work.
stronger.
Now we're talking about if you have this is you may be listening to this and watching this and going, well, Rich, I don't have my own show. I just need to do my videos.
Right.
So
Same
okay,
thing.
same thing, because here's Rich is the producer. Rich, I looked at his spreadsheets and stuff for our upcoming lives and our master classes, and I'm just like, wow, dude, you get really detailed. That's his brain. It works great that way. That's why he's a producer. I am not that way. Okay. I am like a lot of y'all out there right now. They're like, I don't like Excel spreadsheets. Maybe you do. I don't. And I tend to kind of glaze over. I'm a big picture person, getting all the details down. But the one thing that I will do, the one thing that helps so much is what we call the run of show.
Yes.
So,
And the
Rich,
run of
can you
show,
explain
run
what
of
that
show,
is? It's a crucial thing, no matter how simple your teaching or your keynote on camera or your video that you're doing is going to be. Explain what that run of show is.
so the run show literally is before you start, like Sandra and I, every show, everyone that works with me knows you will come on 15 minutes beforehand and do the final prep backstage, microphone tests, lighting, make sure you have the right graphics, make sure your clothes don't blend in the scene. All this behind the scenes stuff you take care of. And it's a non-negotiable. That's the first thing on top of run and show.
Yeah.
You will be here 15 minutes early. And believe me, son, I get so much pushback. Oh, come on. I've done this before. I've done this before. Do you know how many times I've had problems at the nth second before
Yep.
pushing live?
Yep. Exactly. Like we're changing out a QR code, like literally 60 seconds right before we came on
Yeah,
here today. Stuff happens. So that's awesome. And then when you
that's
look at
number
your,
one.
yes,
Then you literally go by the minute or 5 minute chunks, but you need to say, okay, we're going to talk about this. And then we're going to transition. And transitions is so important. We'll probably talk about that during the master class
oh,
sometime.
for sure.
But then you have this is 5 minutes. This is 5 minutes. I've done 3 hour lives and I've had people rotate in chairs and change Sandra's chair. If she's in Sandra, Steve will come in, Bonnie will come in, and I have to have it timed out so we each get a 10-minute interview, and then I go to a simple introduction to the next person. It's all scripted, it's all laid out, and then I do another 10 minutes with Steve, do another transition. Your opening, your closing, your bumper time, all these things are in there very detailed.
So you know
But
when you're on time too. You know when you're on time and you know when you're not. And you know you can catch up. So
right.
if
And
you're a speaker, you do a lot of this. I think speakers do this with their run of show. I would sometimes in my longer events, I would have it on the floor in front of me, kind of old school, but I would have it on the floor or on the podium. So I'd walk by and go, all right, I'm on time, or oh, my next point's coming up. Or if I was really something happened that I was really behind, I would look and make a quick judgment. I'm going to skip the next point. Like I would just kind of do what I could. You get used to that. It's the same thing with video.
yes, but things like Restream, other platforms now, like Restream that we're using right now,
Yeah.
has a note area. I can drop my run and show right into the notes, have it off to the edge of the screen. You don't see it when we're streaming, but it's right in my eye view.
See, I didn't know
I
that.
can be fully aware of where we're at and where we need to cut, slow down, pick up. It's the biggest lifesaver. And believe me, Sandra, people don't take the time to do the homework beforehand. They just want to jump on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I know when we were doing the show Coffee with the Queens, there were 4 hosts, 4 of us, and
Yeah.
at least 1 guest. Sometimes we did 2 guests. So let's think about that for a second. 4 hosts, 2 guests. Like this is great if you're working in a like Good Morning America studio with a whole team full of people and the PAs running around and the assistants and this is that. This is during COVID, y'all. It was like, it was us. It was me, the one that is not as detailed as Rich. And I was able to manage with the help of Trello and a couple other tools, but I was able to manage that run of show. And then the 4 of us could stay on it. Kind of. It was a little like
and
herding cats, but anything that helps you to stay on point is going to make you feel more in control. And
well,
that's when you're able to be available.
Well, and that's a great point because we also share these. So anyone that's on one of my shows, we have a shared Google Doc. You
Yes.
all can look at it in advance. You all know when you're coming on. You all know when you're going off. You know the transition points. It helps everyone, again, be present here. And that's what a lot of our masterclass can be about. The masterclass is about helping you be better present
Here.
here, performing better, communicating better, shining, letting your personality about. But again, if you don't know what's going on, you're
Mm,
not going to be comfortable enough to be the authentic you on camera.
so true. And that is what this class is all about. I mean, today we're talking about a little more practical kind of stuff, which will be covered. But quite honestly, a good bit of showing up well on your Zooms, in your keynotes, and in your trainings that are on video, in your website videos, in your, as my husband calls them, talking heads videos on your website, right? The talking heads. He's a stunt man, so it's all about action. For us, trying to get the information across, it's a talking head. That's okay. But all of the different things, even Zoom calls, things like this, interviews, every
Yes.
single one of these things is on camera. It is not going away. You really can't put an AI version of you in an interview and expect it to go well. Okay. It's just not, we're not quite there yet, nor would I recommend that you actually aspire to that. It's just about finding that space where you feel authentic and amazing and you show up your best. It's like putting on your best outfit that you feel amazing in and walking into an actual event, a live event. This is what we've become. Most of our stuff and our interactions are happening on camera, like it or not. So we're going to show you how to show up to be your best, authentic, persuasive. You get the most bang for the time that you're going to put
Yes.
in to being in front of a lens
Now,
and come across as yourself.
so here's a couple of the topics we're going to cover. We have the first 8 months
We
planned
did
already.
like
That's some of
that.
the detail we got here.
Yeah.
So, secret to looking natural on camera,
We're
loving
starting
how
with
you
that.
look. And
Yeah.
most people go, ooh, I don't like how I look. We're going to change that. We're going to help you change that.
Or how you sound, right? How often
Yep.
people, I don't like how I sound. I don't like how I look. And nobody, I will tell you guys this. I am not in this position. I'll speak for myself and Rich can do the same. I am not in the position to teach this masterclass because I had it all together from the beginning. I was a disaster. I was so hard on myself. I mean, how you do anything is how you do everything. That was how I was in life. I was so vicious to myself that I could not watch myself, even as an actor, for the first 4 years that I was on camera as an actor in a national show working. I couldn't watch. So that did not help me at all. That's what I talk about in our very first class. We talk about loving the things that you are doing right. That's what got me out of that funky, horrible, miserable, self-critical state, was to actually work with somebody that does what we do now, which is like going, hey, that moment right there, that looks really great. You remember what it felt like in your body? Do more of that. Relax your shoulders. Doesn't that feel better? Like the stuff that feels better, that feels like you, is the stuff that we're going to be harvesting that's going to make you shine. And
By
I
the way,
know
Aaron, we
because
want to
I've
say
done it.
thank you for the comments back. And Aaron, you're right. The prep stuff is really important. So I'm glad that helps you out. We
Yeah.
also going to talk about lighting like a star, how you light yourself up, how you show up here. There's some tricks of that. There's some challenges of that, depending on the setup, the gear you have. We're going to get into some of that. We're going to talk about the effective messaging techniques. How do you hook
Yeah.
people in? How good of a storyteller are you? I mean, we got the comment in the chat earlier. The energy of Sandra Dee. There's an energy, there's a performance to this, right?
There is a performance. It's being you, but it's being you on your best day. Like think about your energy when you just closed a big deal or you just, are heading off on vacation. That's a good one, right? When you're heading off
Yeah.
on vacation. That state of mind that you're in, that's magnetic. Do you ever notice when you're in a great state of mind that all of a sudden, like you say hello to people and they say hello back and conversations start, and that's the energy. That's it. That's
But
what we're looking for.
and this is going to be, we're going to have month by month, once a month, we're going to
Yeah.
have 2 hot seats per event. So you're going to see live transformation in real time. You're going to be a part
If
of a
you register,
class.
you'll have the opportunity to be in the hot seat as well if you register. So
Yes.
now what we haven't told you is how available we've made it.
Well, it's once a month, but
Yes, the
also
price.
out of the once a month, we're going to have breakout sessions so you get
Yes.
more in a different format.
Yeah.
But Sandra, what's the price of all this amazing time with Trigger and Sandra?
We're doing every class for only $49. And you don't have to sign up for a year. There's no long commitment. You will have an opportunity starting our second class. If you like it, you can get a little discount if you buy a couple of the classes and come consecutively. But really, it's $49 a class, and that's it. And it's way worth that. But our goal, again, is to help 1,200 people really achieve that next level of comfort so that they can make the impact and shine on camera the way they do on their best day. Like, to make that easy and accessible, that opens up so many doors for when you pitch your business, when you're trying to get clients, when you're able to teach and keynote from the virtual studio. I mean, that is what's happening now. And we want you to be able to do that with ease. And if we can be a small ripple effect, a small piece of that ripple effect in you making greatness in the world, then that's what we want to do. So yeah, $49. The breakout sessions, we'll talk about that actually in the masterclass. It's just a small additional fee. It's very small, but that's going to be very specific. Those breakout sessions are on a different day, and they are kind of a deep dive into one of the topics that we show in class that people want to know more about. So,
and you're getting more direct access to us with each layer, more direct access to Sandra and I, our tools, our connections, our resources, our information. The idea is giving you the best of the best. And like Sandra touched on, this is not just for podcasters. It's not just for streaming TV people. This is for you doing Zoom calls, making your business pitches, showing up, shooting your TikTok, doing this. Everything now is going digital, video, and your business impact is so important now. So we want to help you change all that, rise up, and have greater success. And also, as you will find out with Sandra and I, a lot more fun too.
Yes, please. We don't do anything unless it's fun. So that's part of this. Like, we didn't want to call it a workshop because that's just way too serious. Masterclass was even kind of a tough one, but we're like, well, we can't exactly call it like a romper room. So let's go ahead and make it masterclass and deliver great content and actually have some fun and lift people up. This is really to lift people up so you can lift other people up whenever you get on camera. That's what it's all about. It's about making that impact and bettering the world through something as simple as making this stuff on camera easy.
Yeah. And the first class will be April 23rd. We will be 1 p.m. We're going to have another one of these teaser events coming up. And we're going to share more, give you a QR code to hit bang.
Register. Do we have a QR code? We can put the QR code up.
Well, that's right. We do. That
was our 60-second thing before we started. Yes, we do have the QR code and we can do it. So the class is called Ready-Set Smile. It's only $49 to come and join us. We really look forward to being able to play with you and raise your level of confidence and ease on camera so that all the conversations and the persuasive energy that you need comes very easy to you.
And come with your questions. What are your pain points? What are your personal struggles? We want to hear how to best serve you. So come ready to say, Sandra, Trigger, I struggle with this. And if you want to touch on in that class, we will make a class because I'm sure other people struggle with the same thing you do.
Exactly. And if you want to be in one of the hot seats where we actually work with you directly, you can even submit a video that you have to us and say, hey, I didn't like this. And we will review that with the class because everybody can learn. This is kind of the way our acting classes used to work. You know, you didn't get up on stage every single acting class, but you learned so much from watching other people. In fact, sometimes I preferred watching other people than being up there myself, but we're going to make sure it's all comfortable and it's all fun. So that's how we're working it. Go ahead, check it out. You'll learn more on the page that the QR code takes you to. And if you have any questions, you know how you can find us on social media. So just reach out.
This is the first of a couple teasers to let you know what Ready, Set, Smile is all about. We look forward to having you join the class and be a part of it with Sandra and I and others. And again, we want you to shine brighter, feel more confident. That's what all this is about. And we're going to give you a lot of personal stories, insights about how we went through the trenches, the pain points of our own careers, so you don't have to.
Some horribly embarrassing moments that we want to try to save you from. And we're going to have some of our friends. Don't forget, we've already reached out to some of our associates, some of people that are our own personal resources so that they can contribute little bits of information and tips and tricks and stuff on their aspect of the business, whether it's style or production or messaging or PR, sponsorships. We have a lot of our friends are going to be speaking into the class as well. So it's not just us. We're packing it pretty full for $49. What are we, crazy? Yes. Yes.
So that's going to do it for this edition. And watch for another one. We're going to be doing another one and another one. And then the class is going to launch. And we want you to be a part of this. So hit that QR code and join us on April 1st, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very first.
April 23rd.
Oh, 23rd.
Yeah. April 23rd.
You want those extra days. 23rd. And we're going to have a lot of fun together. So we'll see you on the other side. See you next time.
See you then.